Hey, this is Kit Plumber. I'm going to take a stab at creating a screencast here. I'm going to make a lightweight container for deploying into ServiceMix. It's going to be a basic JBI component based on a POJO. It's going to be a consumer only, so I'm going to call it Sucker. Create a directory called Sucker here. Let's see the Sucker. We're going to use the Maven archetype tools for creating the skeleton. We've done that recently, so I'm just going to go back in history. And here's the archetype create command for creating a ServiceMix lightweight container service unit. Go ahead and run that. The next thing we're going to do is create the service assembly. There it is. Notice the -D remote repositories points to the repo at Logic Blaze. There we go. Now we need to add some Java code. So I'm going to cd into the Sucker service unit. I'm going to go all the way to source main, and from here I'm just going to make a directory structure for the package. Logic. And I've already written the code, or copied the code basically. An example. Just go to TextMate. I'm going to take this code here, copy it, put it in a new file, save it to my test environment. For the screencast here, Sucker service unit, source main Java Blackhole Logic. And make sure we save it sucker.java. Go back over to iTerm. And there's a couple things we need to do before we actually build the code and build the service unit. We need to add the core and common ServiceMix libraries. So let's go back here and edit the Maven pom.xml file. Project build. Go down to the dependencies. I'm going to go ahead and just copy these, paste them in, rename them common and core, and we need to add in scope so we don't actually add all the dependent libraries to the service unit. Just copy this, paste it here for the core. Save that, close that, go back to iTerm, and let's try to build. Go on to Maven install it. That will put the generated service unit.zip file into the local Maven repository for use in building the service assembly. Compiling the Java. Now. There it goes. And you can see there that it actually did install it into the local repository. Let's go up and over into the service assembly. And we need to add the service unit into the POM file there. So we'll just go down here, dependencies, just copy JUnits here, paste it in. Group ID is Logic Sucker. It's the Sucker-SU. The version is 1.0-snapshot. mean, it's not a test, so we'll just get rid of that. Save that. Go back to here. Install. Let's see what happens. While it's building, I'm going to open TextMate back up. Resign. Go back. iTerm. Sure seems like it's taken an awfully long time. While that's building, let's go back. Nope, there it goes. Successfully built, and you'll notice that it did indeed put the sucker-sa into the local repository. So now you could actually deploy that file to ServiceMix. So essentially we're done, but we need to take a look at one more thing. So I'm going to go back to TextMate and open up the file real quick in the service unit, which is the ServiceMix file. So I'm going to replace that so we actually have something to look at. You'll notice in here this is the sucker JMS binding, which is going to listen to this particular topic. Any message that appears on there will get sent to our sucker service. So I'm going to copy all of that, create, and then open our file over here. Resources, ServiceMix, which has the skeleton code in there, and I'm just going to take all that, paste our file in there, and then rebuild everything. But wait, there's more. There's one other thing we can do. We can add a pom.xml file, so maybe we can build from the top directory. It'll build both the service assembly and the service unit. So let's look at that real quick. That can be seen here. So we'll just copy this and paste it into the new file. So move that over to the top level. Here, and we'll call that pom.xml. Save that. Go ahead and close those out. Go back to iTerm. Go up one level and rebuild it. So the next screencast will probably be an example of a provider side that will publish a message to that particular topic and that the consumer can consume. And then the last one would be a screencast that shows the deployment and the testing of those services. Let's see here. Hopefully this works, and then we'll be done. Here's the service unit. There's the service assembly. Success. How about that? Well, hope this works for you. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.